Hello, I'm Michelle. Welcome to Michelle's Island Kitchen. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Pineapple Gourmet online marketplace at www.pineapplegourmet.com. Their telephone number 703-250-3350. Also, H Mart Supermarket in Lee Highway, Falls Church, Virginia. And just like the Washington, D.C. metro area, the island of Jamaica is a very diverse and influenced by many cultures. The culinary history is heavily influenced by the Spanish, the English, the Africans, and the Asians. The food is as varied and colorful as the people. Lots of flavor, spices, sensational taste. Michelle's Island Kitchen is a show about the fusion of cultures and the diverse culinary experiences that are available to us right here in our backyard. I was born in Jamaica, and those early years in the kitchen with my grandmother really shaped my life. She was the most passionate person about food. She believed the best way to comfort anyone was with food. Cooking was her way of giving. I grew up with my grandmother, and from an early age, I was on the stool cutting vegetables, mixing up cake, and she would say, the best way to show your love is to create food. And today I'll be making for you one of my favorite dish, a Jamaican jerk chicken. And this show is a tribute to my grandma Belle. So for the first show, what better than a favorite Jamaican dish? So I'm going to be making for you my jerk chicken. I have here a freshly washed chicken, and I've used a lot of lemon when I'm using chicken. So I'm going to squeeze the lemon over this chicken. And let's leave it right there. I'm going to put on my glove. So, you know, when you're making chicken, you have to be very careful about salmonella. So I like to wear gloves when I'm handling chicken or seafood or meat. So we're going to be doing the jerk chicken. And in Jamaica, jerk chicken is so popular. You could find jerk chicken on the corner. These guys will be making jerk chicken in these drum pans that they would cut to create a barbecue grill. So today I'm going to be making my jerk chicken in the oven, or if you have a grill, you could make it in your barbecue grill. So while the chicken is sitting in this marinade here, we have lots of lemon juice. I'm going to show you how to make a delicious marinade, which is called the jerk marinade. So what I'll do here is, first, I'm going to add some fresh thyme. Second thing I'm going to add is our chopped green onions. I have some red onions. I'm going to add some ginger. And ginger is a very popular, very popular vegetable, or what you call this, a root that we use in cooking, as in Asian cooking. I think the Asian might have brought that to Jamaica. The next thing I'm going to be using is garlic. And in this mixture, I have some fresh nutmeg, which I like to grate from. I used to use this little grate, and I keep it. It's like my good luck grater. I love to use it. And I use nutmeg in almost everything that I make. It's my secret ingredient. So what I'm going to do now is add this to the mixture. It's nutmeg, pimento, and black pepper. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. You could use dark sugar if you have it. I'm going to also add some soy sauce. And this is another ingredient that Jamaicans love to use in their brown stew, in their fish stews, and their brown stew meat. And the next ingredient, which is like the best ingredient of all, it's the hot Scotch bonnet pepper. Now, the yellow pepper is a lot hotter than the green pepper, but I like to mix it. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off the stem here. And the thing about the Scotch bonnet pepper, it is so hot, you might want to take out the membrane, which is here. You just want to slip it out like that. And then I'm going to add this to it. I'm going to add 2 because I don't want to make it too hot. Some people like it very hot, so if you'd like, you could add 3 peppers. But for now, I'm just going to add 2 to this mixture. And then I'm going to stream some olive oil in. And you'll find jerk marinade almost anywhere these days. Jerk has become so popular. For those of you who have traveled to Jamaica, you'll know that jerk is very popular on some of those international hotels. They use jerk in fish, they use it on chicken, they use it on pork. So it's like a staple in Jamaica. And I've seen it here in the U.S. We have it on the international aisle. You can get rubs, which is like the dry rub. But what I'm making for you today is actually a jerk season, which is a marinade. And this is what the chicken will sit in. And usually when I'm making jerk, I like to do it overnight. So what I'll do is make a big batch of the jerk marinade. I let it sit in the refrigerator, maybe for overnight or even for 2 days, because I think the longer you keep it in the marinade is the better the chicken is. And as far as I'm concerned, it cooks faster. So if you know you have to do a lot, you're creating a party or whatever, you could marinate your pork or your chicken overnight or even for 2 days. You could put it in a Ziploc bag if you want to make it easy for yourself. And always remember, when you're handling Scotch bonnet pepper, you wear a glove or make sure you clean your area very, very well. You don't want to get this in your eye because it would be murder. Anyway, the next thing I'm going to do is show you how to pulse. You don't want to pulse it too fast. You're going to slowly pulse it. And then I'm going to stream a little bit more of the olive oil in. And this marinade, maybe you could use it like 3 or 4 times. So you might want to have it added to a jar. And that should be good. And if you don't want to make your marinade, I like to make mine because I think that, you know, adding ginger and all that stuff make it really, really good. But for those of you who are busy people, go to the supermarket and get your jerk rub. Now this, I'm going to just use like 1 scoop of it because I don't want to make it too hot. And the rest I'm going to scoop into a jar and keep that for later. And I could think you could keep that in the refrigerator for up to 6 months because the salt and the pepper really, you know, keeps it. It's like a preserve. So you just keep it in a tight, clean jar and you have it in your refrigerator and use it whenever you're ready. Even when you're doing grilled vegetables, it's very nice to use jerk seasoning. And some people like to use it on shrimp. It's just about anything. It's all about the flavor. The whole concept of jerk is the way you marinate. But in Jamaica, where it originally started, the jerk started with the Arawak Indians. And what they would do is dig a pit. And they would add pimento sticks. And then they would get the pork or the chicken. And they would pack it with the wood and put the meat on top. And they would cover it over with a pimento leaf. And it would sit there for a couple of hours and just slow cook. And then that's really what you get, a real perfect jerk. In Jamaica, there's an area called Boston. And if you go to Jamaica, that's where you want to go. They make the best jerk chicken. And those guys, they have the best Scotch bonnet pepper growing out there in Boston. Anyway, this is what your finished chicken will look like. And what I'm going to do is, if you'd like, you can cut it down the center. Just use your knife and kind of cut through the... We're going to cut through to make sure that the base of the chicken is... And I'm just going to lay it here on my grill pan. I'm going to turn it over like that. I'm just going to rest the chicken on the lemon because the lemon is good flavor. And I don't want to cover it because I find that when I cover the chicken, it gets really, really soft, but then it's not crispy. And jerk's supposed to be very crispy. Now, if you're doing this jerk chicken on your grill outside, you just want to lay it down, and as you go along, let it slow. Don't put too much fire at first, and then as soon as it's